Good afternoon, my friends. How's it going? I see somebody is here. I am just going to share this post. Give me 1 second. And then we will get started with something. Okay. There we go. Hi, Candace. Thank you so much. Yes, it is my birthday. Okay. It's hard to do this without a mod. I'm not used to that. Okay. I think that I can get started. All right, cool. I think I'm good. So I just have this here as a placeholder. What's happening, Candace? How are you today? Okay, so I am hoping that we have a few friends joining us because I would like to, as I usually do with my lives, I would like to have you guys choose what I'm doing or help me choose what I'm doing. So this guy was on my, or this gal really, was on my blog today. I think she's super cool. And I don't think that it was showing really well in the photos how the lips are all embossed. But this is a very basic mixed media card. It's not super mixed media. Some people wouldn't even really consider it to be mixed media because it's really just ink and embossing powder. So we're going to probably go a little bit more intense with the mixed media today. I'm having a good day. I didn't want to be all alone while the family is doing school and work. So thank you so much, Candace. I figured it would be fun to do this because I've been wanting to do some lives for myself anyway, that weren't necessarily associated with a brand or anything, just because I felt like playing and teaching and what have you. And I really enjoy these lives. Hey, Tara, how are you? Thanks for coming. So I thought it would be fun to kind of push myself to do this. Sometimes, I don't know if this happens to you guys too, but I have a hard time. Like I get these ideas, these sort of delusions of grandeur, and sometimes I need a good kick in the pants to get myself going. So that's why I said on the Doodles Paper Playground Live the other day, like, I'm going to do this because now I'm held accountable. So I think that this is going to be fun. So I have my basket of tricks with me like I usually do, with a bunch of stuff in it. I think that I might need to close my craft room door because my daughter is in school right across the hall. So give me 1 sec. Okay. She shut the door of the room that she's in, but I'm hoping that both doors being closed will be good. Hi, Amber. How are you? No problem. Sounds good. Oops, sorry about the glare on that plastic. Okay, so let's pull out some stuff that I have. I have a bunch of things, and I want you guys to kind of let me know what you'd like to see me work with. So I have, I have all sorts of things. I have a few gel press backgrounds that I made. This is just a few. Hi, Denise. How are you? Nice to see you. So I have that. I have some gessoed cardstock. It's just regular cardstock that I applied some gesso to, so that this way, in case anybody wants to see something with gelatos, I pulled a few colors that I thought would work well together. And then I have a couple of stencils. I have this stencil. My friend Nancy sent me this one because she knows houndstooth is my favorite pattern. I have some bubble wrap. I have some cardboard that I ran through my little crinkly corrugation thing. Do you guys remember that? Hold on, I have it here. Denise, I probably got this back when we were working together at Michael's. Do you guys remember this? You turn it and then it corrugates the cardboard. Candace says gelatos, please. I just put mine back out on my desk so you can use them. Oh my gosh, have you used them before? Have you worked with them at all? They're so much fun. I love them. Yeah, I want to see what you make with them too. Hi, Marty. How are you? Thanks for coming. You think you have yours, Denise? I'm sure that you do. And then I pulled out a bunch of cool stamps. I love using this stamp set from Stampendous for mixed media because it's subtle, but it makes really cool, interesting backgrounds. This is a set from All in Create that Amber actually gave me. I haven't used it yet, but I thought it would be kind of cool to put her on top of one of these gel press backgrounds and then kind of add some additional color. I have more All and Create stuff here. I have a stencil from Sassy and Crafty that I haven't used yet. So I think that we'll start. You used to mixed media journal. Ooh, that's cool. I kind of started doing that again. I need to get back into it. You know, I wind up getting caught up in other projects, and I always put the mixed media stuff, as far as the art journals, I should say, to the back burner. And that's not good. I really should use them because, you know, sometimes, truth be told, I get tired of making cards. You know, I want to make scrapbook pages. I want to make jewelry. I want to do all sorts of fun things. And I get stuck in this card rut because they're fast and easy. I shouldn't say easy. I can come up with things quickly enough where I know that I can get all of my quote-unquote work done and then continue on from there. And I just never get into my art journal, and I really need to do that. Okay, so Candace said, you're loving it, right? Isn't that fab? I haven't even used this color yet. Michael's had these on sale for like, I think it was $25, and I got every color that I didn't already have. Although I did wind up with an extra Earl Grey, but that's all right because gray is fab. And then I don't have a black in gelato, so I have this one from Little Yellow Bicycle. A couple of months ago, Sassy and Crafty had done a collaboration with this company. They're kind of under the umbrella of the Bria Reese company, so this is the black that I have. So we'll start with this, and let me get these stencils that I have, plus my bubble wrap. Here's a stencil. I'm crazy about hexagons, so we'll start with that. And then here's my corrugated cardboard. So we have a nice big pile of stuff here. Houndstooth, of course. Let me pull this out. And you guys, I was organizing this weekend. You never really art journaled, Marty says, but technique tags are awesome. Yeah, they are. I don't do that either. Uh-oh. Amber doesn't have any gelatos. Oh my gosh. They're fun and inexpensive, and you can be a little messy. You're not really a very messy crafter, Amber. From what I know of your stuff, I know. This hexagon stencil from All and Create here. Now you can see it better. Ugh. And they have this same stencil with other shapes too. So there's a circle, there's a square, and triangles. And I know that White Rose Crafts has them now, so they're definitely in stock, and they're just fantastic. I love taking different sections. Like sometimes I don't want these big ones, so I'll just use a smaller area. And I like these little shapes too. They kind of look like, not Star Destroyers. What are those things? The thing that Darth Vader flies. I don't remember what it's called right now. But you Star Wars fans know. Amber doesn't know because she's not a Star Wars fan. But that's okay because I love her anyway. Okay, so like I said before, I gessoed this cardstock, and it just takes 2 seconds. You just let it dry, and sometimes it curls up, but that's okay. You can just kind of straighten it out because that gives the cardstock some tooth. Oh, she's dipping her baby toe into the mixed media world. This is a really good way to start because these guys are really inexpensive. TIE Fighter, thank you. That's what it is. You can get like a big kit at Michael's or whatever other craft store you have around you for like $24, and there's like a dozen or so in there, and then, you know, obviously use a coupon and whatever, but they're fun, and they're just a little bit messy without being crazy messy where your hands are going to be stained for days. I personally don't mind that. Hi Annie, how are you? Thanks for joining me today. Okay, so I think we're going to start, you know what, I don't want to start with the red yet. We're going to start with these guys. So this one is Pearly. I don't know what it's called. This one doesn't have a name on it. No, not the Death Star. The thing that, the ship that Darth Vader actually flies. That's what this reminds me of. And it's the TIE Fighter. Yeah. But I do love the Death Star. Have you guys all seen The Mandalorian? I love The Mandalorian. I was kind of like, I don't really understand what the hype is about at first. And then things started happening. No spoilers, guys, for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. And it just got crazy and amazing. So you can see the shimmer on this. I see Kim has popped in. Hi, Kim. How are you? Nice to see you. Okay, so then I think we'll try this one. I haven't used this color yet either. It's called Fig. This is the way. Yeah, exactly. So what's cool is like it's just like a crayon, that kind of consistency. And you just roll it up like a lipstick. You know, I haven't used the Tim Holtz Distress crayons, and I know that you sent the kids a couple and they played with them, but I haven't used them myself. I think that they could be like that, but I don't know for sure. Has anybody here used the Distress crayons and the gelatos? Can you give a comparison to them? Thanks, Annie. It's my birthday, my birthday. I should never sing. I should never sing on camera. Don't do that, Allison. It's not good. So I'm just playing. I like to kind of start with some points of color and then kind of build my way out with other colors. You're watching it now with your son. Well, yes, Amber, that's a really good idea. I'll have to pull out who's sneaking in. Oh, Marie W. is sneaking out at work. I won't tell anybody. Don't get in trouble. That's going to pop really cool. And it might make a little bit of mud with the purple, but I don't really mind that. And we're going to pull a lot of this color up, believe it or not. So that's okay. The crayons are stiffer. All right, we're going to have to do a comparison one day. I'll pull out the set that the kids have, and then I'll do something with these, and we'll see how they work. I'll see if I have similar colors too, because then we're kind of doing more of an apples to apples kind of thing. So this is super easy, guys. And you can see how nicely they blend already. Let me hold it up to the camera a little bit better. See how nicely they blend? They're super creamy. Now, this is the next thing. I'm going to take my bottle of water. This is just an empty spray mister. Nothing fancy. And I'm going to spray this a few times. Now, since I've put gesso on here, it's not going to soak into the paper. It's just going to sit on top. And then this is the fun part. And you don't have to use your fingers if you don't want to. I tend to use several fingers. So like, I don't want to create a lot of mud. So I'm going to switch fingers because I started with the green and now I'm going to go in with some purple. And I'm going to avoid making some of the mud. A little bit is okay. And then I'm switching fingers again. The crayons are firmer. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Do you have a preference with one versus the other, Marty or Annie? Okay. Switching back and forth. And I'm doing this slowly today. I usually go much faster when I'm making these. This is one of those things that I like to do when I'm stuck, because I can just make a bunch of these and not think. It's kind of like a meditation almost, where I just kind of play, and then whatever comes out, and then I can always adjust later. So now I'm going to take, let's do the hexagon, because you guys seem to like the hexagon. And then we'll probably go in with the houndstooth too. I'm going to put it, I'm looking at the pattern here, and this, and I like the big stuff on top of this, because this is not my favorite area, and I'd like to preserve some of this a little bit. So I'm going to put this here. I don't have any pixie spray or anything on that. Did I use a certain brand of gesso? No, you know what? It wasn't anything fancy. It wasn't anything fancy. You could even use black gesso, which would be pretty cool if I would have thought of that. Maybe next time. So now I'm just wiping the color off. I'm not being super careful with it, but I am making sure that I'm holding it tightly. You like the gelatos more. If you're saying that the gelatos are creamier, Annie, then I would probably like the gelatos more as well. But I think, I haven't really watched Tim Holtz's videos on that. I think that there's a little bit more that you can do with the crayons. I don't know. Take a look at that. So I think I want some more definition. So I'm going to put this back on. Just like that. Just line it up as good as I can. And I'm going to just really get in there. I'm sorry that my camera's bouncing, but it's just the way my rig is set up. Okay. That's good. See, now we have a cleaner look. And then you can stamp in these areas if you want to, because you still have a soft layer of color back there. Annie likes the gelatos more. Yeah, I could see that. But you could stamp right on top of this. And then we can emboss and do all of these fun things. Okay, so we've got this area here that isn't super smudgy. So I think that we're going to go in with the houndstooth and try that. And the cat is going to start screaming now because he knows that I'm on camera. That's what he does. And I'm going to try to go with the grain of the stencil so that I don't pull it up or mess it up. And I'm not going to do a whole lot with this. There we go. You could see it here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift it. And I think I'm going to apply a different color. I don't think I want to go with black. I'm going to pull out a new color though. Let's see. You know, I have a blue, I thought. Hold on. Let's see. I could have sworn I pulled a blue out, but I don't see one. Let's see. Okay, we'll try this guy. This is called Blueberry. Hey, Nancy, how are you? Thank you. Marty says, I think gelatos are better for a softer finish, especially having the pearl. I love the pearls, like this purple one. I only have a couple of pearls, but they're so pretty. The distress crayons seem heavier. I like them for intense backgrounds. Okay, that's really good information. Do the, what's it called? Nancy, look, I'm using the stencil you gave me. This is going to be super messy, but that's okay. We're just going to get it in there, and then we're going to spray it with some water. And I've lost my water. And then we're going to go like this. Look at how nicely that just spreads as soon as you hit it with water in your finger. There we go. I like this so far. And then, if we want to go crazy, we can flip this bad boy over, because you've got all of that color on the stencil. And let's just kind of push that down a little bit and see if it transfers up here. Nancy has never used crayons nor gelatos. They're so fun. All right, so that transferred a little bit. I bet if I spray this with water a little bit more, it'll transfer even more. Let's get some over here. And I have my pattern going the opposite direction from what I have down here, and I think that that's cool. There we go. All right, it didn't transfer too much, but that's okay. We don't need to worry about that. I bet if I let it sit for a while, it would. What do we think of that so far? I'm going to lift some of this color up. And you see that this is a messy paper towel. I don't mind that because when I do mixed media, I like to, I think you're missing out on using this stuff. I think it's a lot of fun. I mean, look at how pretty this is already. So when I use messy paper towels, sometimes I get ink transfer onto what I'm working with, which is totally fine with me when I'm doing mixed media. I don't mind that at all. I'm going to just pick up a little bit. You even get the texture from the paper towel. Hi, Leah. Thank you for singing happy birthday to me. Aw. Okay, so what should we do now? Let's see. I don't really think I want to go in with the stripe stencil. I think maybe we'll use some bubble wrap. What do you think? I think bubble wrap will be fun. Yes, you can use them as watercolors. So what I would do if I was doing that, I would scribble it onto my work surface, spray it, and then just apply it with a brush. And that's a fun way to use them too. I haven't done that in a long time. I like doing this, which I guess is a little limiting if I don't expand from that, but that's what I like to do. Okay, so I have some golden acrylics here. This is a fluid. This is dioxazine purple. That's not an easy one. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply just a little bit. You don't need a whole lot of this stuff onto my palette here. And I'm just going to tap that around. Just get a little bit. And then, there we go. That's cool. I like that. So this is where we start really getting into the mixed media kind of aspect, because now we're using acrylic paint. We have the gelatos on here. We use some gesso, and then we can throw on some stamping and some embossing if we want to. I think that this is looking pretty cool already. Are you guys feeling it? There we go. I like that. Okay, that's good for me. I'm going to leave this here and hope that I don't get my arm into it. We'll see what happens. Let's see. Oh, I like the idea of using glitter gels with this, with the gelatos. That'll be fun. I love that idea. So the top of this is all blue now. We're going to clean that off. Okay. So now, let's see how dry we are. We're getting there. It's a little bit of wet. The nice thing about these fluid acrylics is that when you're using them on paper, they do dry pretty quickly. I use them mostly on my gel press. Okay, so I have an idea. So on this set of All in Create stamped are these little bugs. I think that the bugs would look really cool in here. What do you think? Let's see. If you guys have suggestions or ideas for what I should do, please shout them out. Let me know what you're thinking, because I want to do this with you, just like I do in my other lives. Okay, so I am going to pull off this bug here. Candace says, I mostly only get clear glitter gel and find ways to color it with re-inkers. Yeah, because your gel's dry. That happens to me too. I'm finding a bunch of my gels are starting to dry up, and that's really frustrating. Okay, so I have VersaFine Claire in Twilight. I love this color. I love this color. You still can't find your gel press. Oh, Tara, what are we going to do? Because I really want to have a gel press session with you. I do. So I love this Twilight when black is not what I want. It's like the perfect color for just subtle things if black is going to be too harsh. So keep in mind that this is gessoed. Okay, so the stamp sometimes has a tendency to slip a little bit because the texture is different from when it's just on paper. Okay, it is cardstock, but it's gessoed. So you want to be careful and not let your stamp slip, unless that's the look you're going for. So I like this bug. All right, let me get my cleaner out. I'm liking this color palette too. The purple with the green and that shock of blue. I think it's pretty cool. A little different from what I was thinking I was going to do, but that's what always happens on these lives. So earlier today, right before I went live, I was using the new sparkle blends. Yes, I was. I started making an alcohol ink background. There we go. Perfect. I think I actually want to do this guy again. I really need to get that, you know, that Tim Holtz set with the bugs? Something about it is just so cool. One day I'll get it. There we go. I like that. You'll just buy another one. White Rose Crafts has some of the small guys. They just got in a couple of the little ones. I don't know what size you want. But I'll shoot you over my discount code later. And then you can get that if you're interested. They have a couple of the petites now too. Spill what? What am I spilling? Oh, with the sparkle blends? Well, how about this? I'll show you my background. And only you guys are going to get to see this. This is what I did for the top layer of one of my cards. For one of the sparkle blends. Kudos to you for getting your card finished during the live. My partial die cut took forever. Yours came out so good though. I love how it looks. So this is going to be for one of the new sparkle blends. So what do you think? I made the alcohol ink background this morning, and then I die cut the little hearts. This is actually just one die, and I cut it in gold glitter cardstock and just chopped the hearts off and put that on there. Yeah, it's fun, right? I never used this one before. It's from Poppy and Memory Box. Hot pink and gold. I can't say what it is that it's going to be, but it's going to be pretty. Thank you. What do we think so far? I feel like we need some words. What do you guys think? Do we need some words or something? Maybe we'll put some heat embossing on here. How about that? Yeah, it's really bright pink. That's like the type of pink I put in my hair. Super bright. Let's see. I'm just trying to pull out something I have an Andy Skinner set here. I don't know if I really want to use any of these. I don't know. I'm not sure. Do you guys have any suggestions? It is not Christmas, Marty. It is not Christmas. I'm done with Christmas for a while. I need a break. I need a break from Christmas. I think that maybe we'll do something with this. What do we think? Hey, Beth, how are you? You like the skull. I don't know if the skull works with this, though. I'm not feeling the skull. How about this? Let's go with this. I think that's pretty. That'll be cool. Let's try that. What color should we do? You can say any color. I can guarantee you I have that color in embossing powder. Because Stampendous has a bajillion colors and I have most of them. You meant colors. Oh, well, that is not going to be a green sparkle blend. Although there will be some green in some other sparkle blends. What color do you guys think I should do with this? I love that the stamp itself, the image, is already distressed. The Andy Skinner sets are some of my favorites. That says purple. I have this purple here. Oh, here's an organizational tip. Marie says purple too. So I have my embossing powders all in it's like a pull-out drawer. And one of the first things that I always do with my embossing powders when I get them is that I put a little bit of embossing ink on the top of the lid and I heat emboss the powder immediately before I even put it away. Because the powders always look so different in the jar than when they do melted. Here's a good example. So let's see if you can see that. You see all of those colors? Let's open it. You guys might have seen me use this one before. This is called Seasonings. And there's all these different colors, but it's kind of hard to tell what it's going to look like once it's melted. So by melting it, you get a much better impression as to what it's going to look like. So when you guys get embossing powders, I do this with my glitter gels and my embossing pastes as well, because it just gives you a better idea. So this one is called Shabby Pink. Look at that splotch of pink. Isn't that cool? But again, you don't really know what it's going to look like. So I always put it on top. So then you can see just how bubbly and rich and thick it is. Thanks, Kim. I hope that helps somebody. I've been doing it that way forever, and I just find it to be a super easy way to make sure that you know what you're working with. Plus, then I can just look at everything at a glance. Since everything is stored upright, I don't have just a sea of white caps. I know immediately what I'm working with. So, are we all in agreement with the purple? Nancy says a different shade of the green yellow. Leah says gold. You know what? I might have a solution for this. Hold on. Let's see. Do I have a... Oh, here we go. Okay. This won't be exactly what Nancy was suggesting, but this will be a combination of what Beth and Leah said. So this is called aged wine. You see all of the colors in there? We'll use that. We'll go with that one. Okay. So when I'm doing cards like this, I don't always pull out a stamp platform or Misty or anything like that, which, by the way, guys, check this out. Were you on my live the other day and I said I didn't have a Misty? I have a hand-me-down, which is so amazing. Tara gave me one of her older Misties, and I'm so grateful because I've wanted to use one for a long time. I hear the hype all the time about them, and now I get to play with one. But when I'm doing mixed media things like this, I tend to... You're welcome, Rebecca. I tend to use a block instead of a platform because I don't necessarily need to worry about sharp, crisp edges, especially with a stamp like this that's already so distressed looking. You know what I need to do before I stamp this down? This is not dry yet. You can see that it's a little bit shiny. Thanks, Nancy. So I am going to take out my heat tool, so it's going to get noisy for just a second, because I want to make sure that this is dry. Because since we're going to be putting the powder on top, I don't want it to stick to everything. I'm hoping that you can see that the sheen is kind of fading from the paint, and that's how you know it's dry. Alright, let's see if that's good enough. Now, something else you want to keep in mind when you're working with gelatos and stuff, they're all water soluble, as you saw. So if I were to spray this with water right now, I'd basically ruin everything that I just did. No, I didn't have a Misty. I know, everybody's so shocked by that. I have the stamp platform. I had gotten it before it was taken off the market in the US. And that was perfectly fine with me. But, you know, I keep hearing about how amazing the Misty is, and I was very curious. And I mentioned it the other day on my live, and Tara was shocked and appalled, and so kindly sent one of hers because she had just gotten one of the new ones. So that was really sweet. Okay, so this can all get ruined if I spilled water on it. So after we're done, what I'll wind up doing is take like an ultra matte medium. This is from DecoArt. I'm sorry that this is ripped. Or some other type of matte medium, just to seal it. And quite honestly, if I wasn't live right now, I would probably do that now before I embossed. But I'd rather not have you guys wait that out. So I am going to, yes, and I'm going to use it all the time. And Rhiannon saw it and she got very excited too. Annie doesn't have a Misty. Yeah, you know, I know a couple of people that didn't have one. I had forgotten that you were one of them. Let's put this here. And I'm just gonna, I love these stamps because they're cling and they give such a nice impression. I love my Tim Holtz platform. I do. But I was intrigued by the Misty. And now I can play with one. Okay, so now I'm gonna just grab a piece of scrap paper. Whoops. And then we're gonna pour this aged wine out. Now, I don't know if you guys have worked with powders that have different sized granules in it, like this. You see how there's some fine and there's some chunky. Yeah, you know, Annie, that is one of the reasons why I wanted it. Because if I'm going to start doing videos, which is another thing that you guys are holding me accountable for, I don't know if it's inappropriate to use the Tim Holtz one. I'm not sure. Oh, Kim, you love the Misty. Okay, that's good to know. So now I just dumped this off. And I did that because I want you to see that most of those big chunks are now gone. They're all down here. Okay? So when you're using something that has different textures in it, you want to try to tap it off just a little bit so that you keep some of those bigger chunks. So I'm going to pour some more on, just a little bit, and try to just not remove as much. Now this is a detailed stamp, so, and I really did put on a lot, but that's okay. So I can also just kind of dump a little bit on there, like this. See that? So now we have that texture in there. So the next thing that you have to keep in mind, and Leah, I don't know if you do this too, I would think that you do, because these chunky powders are so heavy, and the embossing ink doesn't hold it as well because of its weight. If you put your embossing gun on it right away, they just blow off, and you'll be stuck with just the fine embossing powder. So what I do is I heat it from underneath, and then it melts into the rest of the powder. So that's what we're going to do. So I am going to move this. I'm going to clean it first. Usually I clean it after, but let's not be crazy, because, you know, I'm already spilling it all over my work surface. That's okay. And I'm going to even cap it, because I don't want to lose this color. Okay, so I'm going to start my gun. Yeah, Leah heats it from the bottom too, because you don't want those big chunks to blow away. And once this gets nice and hot, I'll bring it to underneath the cardstock. Now again, we've got a lot of layers on here with the gesso and whatnot, so it might take a moment or two extra, but we'll see. And once it starts to melt, I can always move it to the top, but you don't want to do it right away. See how it's starting to melt there? Oops, sorry, I'm off camera. Okay, so now you should be able to see all of that texture, and you can see that it's gold and it's purple and there's a little silver in there. Isn't that fun? And that's just one step. Super easy. I think we need some more though. What do you guys think? Should we do some more? I know, I have to say, embossing powder is probably my favorite thing, because there's so much you can do with just a little jar of powder. Look at how that's catching the light. And watching it melt has always been one of my favorite things. Okay, do we want more? I think that we want something big here. What do you guys think? Let's wash this off. I don't like to ever leave ink on my stamps because I don't want it to transfer into another pad. So I always make sure that I wipe it off before I put it away. Okay. What do you guys think? Annie says yes. Any suggestions on what kind of image I should use? I'm just putting this stamp away so I don't lose it. Let's see. I'm looking to see what I have that's out. Any suggestions? I could even use a stencil with the Versamark if I want to. And just ink through the stencil and get in it, something like that. Ooh, Kim says floral. Yeah, this has a lot of texture, Nancy. A lot. This is one of those that if you're working with a cling stamp, you can dump a puddle of it on your piece, melt it, and then stick your rubber stamp into it, and it will give you a really cool look. The swirly one there on the left. Do you think that this one's a little too fine, though? Might be a little fine. Let me think for a second. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see what we have. I like Kim's idea of a floral. I don't know if I have a good floral right now that's right here. Let's see. How about this? Did you see a bird in my stamps? There might have been a bird. There was the raven head. What about this though? We could do a couple of these since they're solid. That might be kind of cool. A good juxtaposition to the bulkier ones. Yes, and I agree with that. I think that we need to add more bulk though first. I like to kind of work from the biggest imagery down to the smallest. Do you guys like this? Let me see a thumbs up if you like this. Otherwise, I'll search for something else. Meanwhile, I can look to see if I have anything. Oh, I see a couple likes. Leah likes it. Okay. I have this too, but I think that this might have to wait until later. Okay, let's try these. What color? Shoot me a comment. What color do you guys think? So this is a set from Altenew, called Garden Silhouette. It's really pretty. Let's go with, I think that we might try Nancy's idea from before with the green. I think that that would be really nice. Let's see. I have, okay, this is cool. Let's try this because I really haven't used these. This is from Stampendous, and it's for painting with powder. That's what it's called, painting with powder technique. So that's a whole nother thing. But darker green and a darker purple. Okay, I think I'm going to start with this though. So these powders, they come in this set, and if you look closely, they have a number of colors all in one jar, but they're all the same sized granule. Okay, so it's all the same size, but there's some light green mixed in with the dark green. There's some a little bit of light blue and this darker blue toned one. So let's try this and see how that works. I think that that might be kind of striking against the houndstooth. And then we'll see what happens. And if we change it, we change it. I think we're going to start with this guy here. But I like the idea of a darker green too, so we might need to add some of that as well. Okay. And this is why I like doing this type of card, because it's totally unplanned. I mean, I had a couple of suggestions laid out for you guys, but there's just a fuzz on here. It's pretty unplanned, and you just come up with something that's pretty interesting afterwards. Let's go like this. Is that like loose flocking powder? Nope, it's embossing powder. It's a regular embossing powder. It just has a number of colors in it. And the idea of the painting with the powder is that you stamp your image down and you can apply the powder at different times and use that to color your image instead of using markers, which is pretty cool. So let's get a close-up. I think that's going to look really pretty. I'm going to just knock off some of that extra green that's there. Where's my brush? We got some brushes here. I just have a little bit of extra that I'm just going to remove. Okay. Thank you for the hearts. Okay, so I'm going to turn on my gun again. I love creativity too. I'm just going to let my gun heat up. I'm sorry about the noise. Okay. This we can heat from the top because the granules are all small. Okay, there we go. I think that that's neat. You see the different colors in there? So it gives you kind of a variegated look. I think that we're going to go with Leah's idea and go with a dark green. I'm making a mess. There we go. Okay, so let's put this guy away. I expect to see some mixed media cards from some of you soon. Tara, you're one of them. I know it's something that you've been wanting to tackle for a while. Okay, so just as an FYI, this pulled up some of the gelatos. Okay, so you really want to make sure that you're washing this off afterwards. And that's another reason why I'm definitely going to be sealing it. You can use a spray sealer if you want to. But again, I like using the matte medium. I know that Ranger has one, but I just happen to have the one from Deco Art, so I'm going to use that. Let's try this leaf. I like this leaf. Hi, Amber. Thanks for coming back. I hope that the boys are doing okay with school and such. Yeah, it's looking good so far. I'm digging it. Okay, I think that we're going to put this leaf over here. What do you guys think? I like it over here. Okay, let's do that. I think we might do 2 of these. Put one here, right across the purple. That's the acrylic paint. You couldn't get into the meeting? Oh no. That's no fun. I mean, meetings aren't fun either, but we were having a problem with one of Rhiannon's meets earlier today too. But I think that it's kind of worked itself out now. Okay, so this is a darker green. And you can see, again, that it's variegated. There's different colors in here, but the granules are all the same size. Okay. Get some over here. That's a nice color. And then we're going to get some over here. That's going to be really pretty. A little bit more at the edge. There we go. Time to get your hair done. Enjoy, Nancy. Thank you so much for stopping by and celebrating my birthday with me. I appreciate it. Post pictures of your hair. Are you doing something different? And I'll be sure to put up pictures of this card when it's done. I promise. Okay. So now I'm going to get my embossing gun again. Turn that on. We're definitely going to need to do something up here. That might be a good spot for that scroll that Nancy was mentioning before. Did I see it change? There we go. Okay. What do we think? I think that looks good. I love that. That dark green is really popping off of there. What do we think? I think we need something up here, right? Any suggestions from all of the stuff I showed you before? The scroll that particular scroll might be a little too soft. I think we need something with more of a thick line. I'm just trying to clear my space for a sec. Leah says she loves it. Thank you. Let's put away this powder. Okay. Just so I have a little bit more room to work. Let's see. What can we do? What can we do? Nope, nothing there. I'm trying to remember which Stampendous set has like big scrolls on it. Let's see. I don't know, guys. Let's see. I know so many layers, but that's what makes it look interesting, in my opinion, is all the layers. What about this? Do we like this? I'm looking at this piece here. That might be a little bit big. How about this one? I think that's kind of neat. Right? And that could be gold. We could do that in like a straight gold. Okay. Let's get a bigger block this time. Okay. Look at how rowdy this block is, you guys. I mean, this thing has seen better days. This is probably older than Phoenix. I'm serious. Okay. Let's get... I'm getting a gold. You know which one I like? Champagne. Isn't that pretty? It's different from the detail gold. See the difference? It's a little bit chunkier, but that's okay. Let's go with that. So I'm just going to ink up the bottom half. And we'll put this on here. So another nice thing about doing these types of backgrounds is that you really get to use your supplies. I mean, look at how much stuff I've put on this one background. So for those of you that have been like me and it's like, oh, I have all this stuff and I haven't been using it. What can I do? This is a great way to use your stuff because you can pull out so many things and they don't have to go together at all. Like, would you necessarily put bugs with houndstooth? No. But in this case, I think it works really well. Right? I mean, I hope that you agree with me. But it's fun to go through your things and just mess around. Don't think about it. Just pull everything out and play with it and see how you can use things together. Thanks for the hearts, guys. All right, we're going to heat this guy up.
Hello.
I'm getting a phone call that I have now declined. It's probably spam. Okay. Check that out. That really brightens it up. I feel like we need something gold here now. Or maybe here. Oh, I know what we can do. So this is going to be one of my favorite things to do with embossing powder. Okay, so I'm going to take seasonings. And this is the chunky one that I pulled out before that I was showing you guys. Thank you. Okay. And now, super simple, I'm going to just put this here. I'm going to just take my embossing pad. I'm just going to add a little bit of ink here and a little bit of ink here. And I do this on so many of my cards. Not necessarily with just embossing ink. I do it with colored ink too. I don't keep it neat. Like, I don't try to have straight lines or anything. I just want that super painterly look on the edge. Okay, so you can see how nice and thick that is, right? Yeah, is my car warranty expired? I bet you that's what it was. Exactly. I don't understand how people are still falling for that. That's still like a business for people. I don't get it. Okay, so I'm going to just shake some of that off. So now we're going to heat this from beneath because, again, it's one of Leah's favorite things to do too. These are chunky granules. So heating from the top will just blow them right off. Unless you're using something like Tear It tape from Imagine, it'll just blow right off. So we're going to heat from underneath. I hope that you can see that okay. There we go. See how that's melting? Oh, I love this stuff. This is a jar that I've actually had to buy again because I used most of it up once. And I couldn't be without it. It's called Seasonings. Look at how fantastic that is. Can you see all of those colors? It's so pretty. See that? It's like molten metal. Oh, seriously, this is like one of my favorite embossing powders. And this is a good shot of the aged wine too. You can see all of that purple, but you can see the gold and silver that's in it too. The black tends to disappear a bit. It goes a bit on the edge. Whoops, sorry. I focused on my embossing gun. But you can see that there's a bit of black in there too. Isn't that nice? I love this stuff. Okay. I think this is looking really good, you guys. Do we need any more? I think maybe a splotch of it here. Let's do the thing that I like to do with the seal. Where is that? Here it is. In case anybody hadn't seen that before, let's do that really quick. Leah, I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to take this stamp out. I love this one. I use this a lot. And we're going to just put this on a little block. Okay. And now I'm going to make a puddle right here of the seasonings. And you can do this with any rubber stamp. I would not do it with clear stamps. Don't do this with clear stamps. Only do it with your rubber because it won't harm them. And I'm just tapping this down to see how big it's going to get. I don't want to hide my bubble wrap completely. You missed the molten metal company. Oh, this is all of the embossing powder that I use is from Stampendous. Occasionally, I'll use Imagine or Ranger, but 95% of the time, focus, I'm using Stampendous. And the Frontage collection is what I like best. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. Because that's the one, that's the collection that has all of the different like granule sizes and colors and things like that. So if you're looking to do anything like this, then definitely take a look at Stampendous and their Frontage collection. Okay, so keep in mind, guys, there is no embossing ink under here. So you have to do this from underneath because nothing's going to hold this powder. Okay, so I'm heating this guy up again. And I'm going to bring it nice and close so that you guys can see, hopefully. And now we have to act quickly once it melts because we've got to stamp our rubber stamp into it. Okay, so that's nice and melted. I'm going to keep it melted. And I'm going to stamp that right in. You're welcome. Ta-da! And some of it came off the edge, but that's okay. All right. There we go. And now our stamp is totally clean. There's no harm to it. I do this all the time. particularly with that stamp, and you have like this cool looking wax seal effect. Isn't that fun? I love that. It's just a cool technique that's kind of unexpected. And I like that it spills out because it really looks like a wax seal in. Osmo's here. Hi, Osmo. How are you? Osmo is Jean's cousin, and he's in Finland. So good to see you. Thanks for joining me on my birthday. So guys, what do you think? Should we pop this on a card base? I think that we've got enough layers here. It's interesting enough where we can just throw it onto a card now. Put some purple on our card base, and then I think it's done. Yep, I'm seeing some hearts. Okay, let's do that. Put my seasonings away. I'm going to move my embossing gun off to the side. Are you guys enjoying this? Like, is this something that we should do again? What do you think? Leah says yes. I see Leah's hearts. Okay. I am getting some cream cardstock because I think that cream would look really nice with this. Okay. Annie says yes. Okay. And what do you think of this time? Do you think that Mondays at 1 are good? I mean, this is a good time for me because everybody else in the house is busy. And I have quiet time for myself, but I can do this with you guys, and I think that would be fun. Oops, there we go. Okay, so we have a card base. Thanks, Kim. So I was saying before that I was organizing this weekend. I was watching Tara's video from the other day about organizing small spaces. It's a great video. If you haven't seen it, that's cool, Amber. That's totally fine. If you haven't watched Tara's video, then you should definitely check it out. Oh, look at that. This is a big piece. I should have trimmed this down before. That's going to be our card front, my friends. Okay, so then you know what I'm going to do? I am going to, let's see. Let's take, where is that color? Here it is. I never really have a card face full like this, but I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Anyway, I was watching Tara's video the other day, and she took a D-ring binder, and she put her 6x6 stencils in it. And I thought that was so smart. So I went to Michael's, and of course they didn't have a single 6x6 album. They didn't have any 6x6s. I have some 6x6s, but they're not D-rings. They're with the pegs, and I didn't really want that. So I had to pull out my honeymoon album, which happens to be a 6x6 D-ring, and that's what I used. So I'm going to have to wait until I find another one before I can pull them out. But it was a really smart idea, and now all of my stencils are labeled, and they're done by company, and it's going to work out really well. Okay, so this is fab. I'm loving this. Hi, Cindy Ellen. I know the time is never going to be perfect for everyone. But I have to kind of keep in mind, like, when I can get on, that it's not going to interfere with, like, when I have to cook dinner, or, you know, make sure the kids are just signing on to school or anything like that. So if there's another time that would be better for you guys, you can certainly let me know what it would be, and I can see if it'll work. You know, the other thing is I go live on Thursdays with Amber for Doodles Paper Playground. So I wanted to give myself a couple of days in between, and I didn't necessarily want to commit to a weekend because one never knows what's going to happen. And I'm getting purple all over myself, but that's okay. Because again, the gesso is keeping the ink wet. But I am going to, after we're done here, I'm going to put matte medium on top of all of this, except where I emboss, just so that it doesn't matte it down. Amber has a question. As a beginner, would a plastic palette knife work? Or should you invest in a metal set? Personally, I like the metal better. You have a lot of embossing paste. I know what your stash has. And I think that you'd be happier with metal or silicone. I feel like the plastic is just not great. Like, the edges could be wonky depending on where it's made. Like, it might not be even. I always use metal myself. I know some people prefer silicone. I've always used a metal palette knife. And I feel like the silicone sometimes has a little too much bounce to it. And I have more control with metal. Leah, do you have an opinion on that? Can you weigh in? You've used a lot of paste in your time too. Leah used to be on the Dreamweaver stencils design team with me. And we always used paste. So my friends, I love this. I think the only thing that it needs is a sentiment. And in this scenario, I think that what we should do is avoid putting one on right now because I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet. This could work as a birthday card. It could work as a thinking of you card. I just think it came out so cool. I love the bugs. Cindy Ellen mixes up her palette knives. Oh, you keep eyeing your cake decorating ones. Well, yeah, I can understand that. I personally think that the metal one is better. Yep, Leah says the metal gives you a smoother finish. Yeah, I would stick to metal. So there you go. This was a lot of fun, my friends. I hope that you like how this came out. I hope you got a couple of tips. I kind of don't want to end right now. What do you guys think? Should we keep going for a little while or should we stop? I won't get offended if you have things to do. I don't know if you want me to make another background. I was going to go for an hour, and we got this done in an hour. Cindy Ellen says her favorites are the silicones. Yeah, I love it too. I think it's really cool. We have some really cool things happening. Uh-oh. Amber, you're on Dick Blick looking at gelatos? Oh my gosh. I just submitted to be an affiliate for them. I haven't heard back yet, but that would be rad. Does anybody want to keep going, or should we call it a day? Thank you, Cindy Ellen. Thank you very much. I'm going to just put this away. So Stampendous has a few of these kits still, and they're a bunch of different powders all in one. This one is retired. You can't get this one anymore, but you should take a look to see if you're interested in playing with different embossing powders and you don't necessarily want a big fat jar that's a full size. This is a great way to kind of dip your toe, as Amber would say, into messing around with powders and such. So you could take a look at that. Is anybody looking to leave, or should I make one more background? Or at least start a background with like gelatos again or something. Or I could even use a gel press background and play with that girl stamp. What do you guys think? It's my party. Yeah, I know, but I don't want you guys to think, oh God, she's still going, I can't leave. You can totally leave. I'll understand. But if you want to see more, I'll do something else. Thumbs up if you want to see something else. And we don't have to keep going. Leah says keep going. Cindy Ellen's coloring peonies. Ooh, Annie says make more. Another please from Kim. Okay, I'm going to take a sip of water. Give me 1 second. Okay. Shall we do this? Should we do this one? So this was a gel press background I made like literally a year ago because it came up in my memories. Rhiannon and I had a gel printing session at our dining room, and we used distress oxides with different stencils. So I'm going to say this is mustard seed, probably abandoned coral, and probably peacock feathers. Okay, Amber, you got it. The longer you go, the more I get to sit. Oh, Leah, thanks. And this stencil is from Tailored Expressions. It's like a waves stencil. So, oh, I can show you how my stencils look now. So, since we're going to hang out. So this is my my album from when we first got married. Like, I'm not even lying. See, this is St. Martin. But I put all of my stencils back here. And they're all labeled. So I have a bunch from Balzer Designs because her stencils are ridiculous. I have a bunch from Brutus Monroe. A new one came in today, so I get to make a new space for that. This is where my houndstooth goes. So it just works out really well, and I don't have to mess around with the plastic packaging. So if you guys need to organize your 6x6 stencils, I totally recommend doing it that way. Okay, so I think I can break out my Misty now, guys. Okay, so we're going to pull this out. This is a set that is from All in Create. Here's the cover. This is called Bug. It's number 217. Yeah, these colors are really pretty, right? I'm pretty sure that this is abandoned coral. Pretty sure. And I think we're going to use her, and then we can add some color to her. I think that would be fun. We'll do some like wacky coloring. Okay, so I'm pulling the backer sheet off. Let's get the Misty. Guys, if I use it wrong, don't yell at me. Okay, so I even put some washi tape on here. We'll put it in the corner like that. And I'm going to peel this off. You could tell that this is new because she does not want to come off of that backer. But that's okay. All right. So something that I like to do is, if I had short sleeves on, I would show you, but I use pixie spray on my stencils? Sometimes. I did not use pixie spray when I was using the hexagon and the houndstooth on this before. But the super delicate stencils, did you see the cards I did on my live for Sparkle Blends the other day for Doodles Paper Playground? Hold on. These guys, for these, I used pixie spray. These stencils are so, this is actually one stencil. It's so delicate, and I knew that I was going to be ink blending on top that I used pixie spray on it. When I was just on Dreamweaver and we only had metal stencils, there was no need for a product like that because it doesn't move. But with these guys, when it's so fine, I do like to use the pixie spray. Hi, Tara. Tara, look what I have out. Look what I have out. I'm going to use it for the first time. Okay, so what I was going to say was when I have a brand new stamp that I haven't used, I like to kind of rub it on my skin. It kind of removes some of the leftover stuff that's on it, and then obviously I'll wash my hand later. But it helps get the ink to apply better that first time. Okay, so we're going to do this. I've watched enough people do this. I think I have the hang of it. Okay. We're going to do that. Thank you. Okay. What color, guys? I don't know if I want to do black. This is one of those times where I feel like navy blue would be really appropriate. So let's go with navy blue. So this is that Twilight ink from Imagine. Tsukineko is the brand, but Imagine or Imagine Crafts is the American version of it. So these things say Tsukineko, but if you go on the Imagine Crafts website, that's the distributor for the Tsukineko brand. Okay? Just in case you were wondering, like, why does she keep saying that? It's Tsukineko. In America, it's Imagine. So I use the Twilight ink whenever I don't want the harshness of black. Also, I just love this color blue. It's just beautiful. So this is just copy paper. Let's see. I'm so excited. I'm using a Misty. This is like crazy. You guys get to see it happening for the first time. Look at that. That's nice because it shifted the color a little bit because of the colors underneath, and I think it's really pretty. I think the black would have been too harsh. You use your pixie spray every time now. Yeah, I use it a lot. I do use it a lot. I don't use it every time, like I said, just because sometimes I'm playing around and I don't need it to stick perfectly. I don't mind if the image is a little all over the place. You have several All in Create products en route. Ooh, that's exciting. I can't wait to see what you're getting. I have a very long list. Did you guys see the ones with the girls that look like they're from like Simplicity Sewing Patterns? Oh, I'm crazy about that set. I need to get those. I need to get them because I'm going to make every card for my mother with those girls. So that's on my list of things to get. But I do have a few that I'm waiting to add to cart. All right, so I'm going to just put her away for now. And she's going to work really good with the scissors, too, when I get that set with the other girls. Yeah, you know, I don't have that one, Amber. I don't have the brown pine cone. I do want to get it. I tend to use Rich Cocoa Memento when I need to use a brown. But I think that the pine cone will probably be a little bit better for what I need. I'm going to put away my gelatos because they're rolling all over the place. Okay, so now we have to decide what we're going to color her with. Do we go in with Zigs or do we go in with Copics? Neither choice is perfect for this, by the way, because again, it's just copy paper. I can also use pencils. I have some pencils here that I can play with. Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the pencils, because these guys blend really well. These are Pitt pastels, so they're not regular colored pencils. Maybe we'll do that. Your brown VersaFine dried out, so you replace it with the Claire equivalent. Yeah, I do use the vintage sepia VersaFine. I don't know where she is right now. But these guys, I don't know if you guys know, but VersaFines come in many colors, and they're all in these little cubes. And these are, you know, if you don't want to use black, or you want to experiment with something other than black, these are fantastic. Okay. Oh yeah, Top Flight. Top Flight has some great companies that they carry. Okay, let's play with this color. What do we got here? I don't know what it's called, but we're gonna go with it. And again, we're gonna just play. And because there's something on here, because the stamp has these lines, it's telling you where to shade. And you can follow those lines or not. I'm going to follow them. And then I'm going to go over it with another color, and then I'll blend it out. See how cool that is already? See, and you can play with this. Let me zoom in for you. The sepia. Yeah, the vintage sepia is really pretty. This lighting is a little harsh right now, isn't it? Let me turn off my other light. Your cart was $200. Oh my gosh. Is this lighting better now? I should have turned it off before. I think that this is actually a little bit better. We're going to play because it's my birthday. That's right. Cindy Ellen's birthday is coming up too. So now I'm going in with this darker teal. And I'll probably smooth it out with that first teal. I like using mixed media stamps like this that are kind of artsy already and kind of weird, because it gives you the freedom to just mess around. It doesn't have to be perfect. I know a lot of people get intimidated by like flowers or people because it's like, oh, I don't know how to color that type of thing. And this gives you freedom. She's already whacked. So if you whack other things on top, it's okay. Oh, your debit card is ready for the release. Sparkle blends are coming out on Friday. That's right. And Nancy's birthday was the 5th. Oh my gosh. Let's go with this darker blue. So many January babies. I have to say, I don't love having a January birthday. I was supposed to be born on New Year's Day, but I didn't want to come out yet. I needed some more time to cook. Okay, and then I think we're going to go in with some green because, again, we're just playing. And this is something that I would spray with like a fixative after I'm done. But like I was saying before, this type of imagery allows you to feel like you have permission to mess around with it. Does that make sense? You might not feel comfortable destroying a flower, right? Like experimenting and doing weird colors and tones and cross-hatching and all of that. But this, since it already has that look, you can allow yourself to play. Like I'm putting pink and green on top of each other. That's really not something that you should do because it could create mud. But in this case, it doesn't matter. It's okay. See how she looks? What do you guys think? Okay, Nancy, thanks so much for hanging out. Have fun. You color hippos purple. Yeah, you know, I did... What did I do purple? Oh, no, it was Rhiannon. She did platypuses in purple, and they were adorable. I feel like this lighting is too harsh. Hang on one sec. Nope, that's no good. Let's try this. Try and adjust it so that you guys can see better. Is this better? Do we like this? I think that this is actually better. I think the other light was too harsh today because it's daylight, and usually I do these at night. Okay, so I think I need some color down here. And then we're going to start tearing the paper. Yep, we're going to tear the paper. Because I like that decal kind of edge or torn paper kind of look. There we go. Yeah! I like the Technicolor effect too. So this is a straight edge, and I don't want that. So I'm going to take it, and I'm going to tear it towards me. And because I'm tearing it towards me, it's rough. Can you see that? Whereas if I did it from this side, it's not. Does that make sense? You see how that's, I mean, you can see the edge is rough, but it's cleaner. Whereas if I pull from the top, you have that really cool rough look. Marty is the 21st. Coming up. It's coming up. I don't know what my husband is cooking, but man, this place smells good right now. He's had the slow cooker going since like 8 o'clock this morning. And I am excited. There we go. I kind of like this here, but I'm going to remove some of this on the bottom. Jean is in April too, Amber. Jean's is April 24th. There we go. Okay, I think that's good. I like this white edge on this side. Okay. I think that we need some type of stencil down here. Or some type of impression. I mean, the bubble wrap could work again. Let me put these pencils away. Tara's April 2. Cindy Ellen is January 24th. I need to put these in my perpetual birthday calendar. Do you guys have one of those? It's just, it gives you a list of the days of the month, but not like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's just like January 1st through the 31st, and then you just write in whose birthday is what day. And it works out really well. Okay, so let's, you know what? I want to do what Candace mentioned before about the gelatos with water. So let's take this color. This is blood orange. I'm going to scribble that on there. That's a nice color. And I'm going to take some water. You guys can't see that. Hold on. Let's move this over. How's that? Now you can see it. Okay. Candace is in February. Okay. Let's get a good brush. I'm going to take this and I wet it. And I'm going to apply it to my bubble wrap. I don't know how this is going to work. It might not work well because it's on plastic, but we're going to try it. Oops. Nope, not good. So we'll use it with a stencil. Let's pick that up. Dad jokes. Oh no. No dad jokes. Okay, so let's take this striped stencil that I have not used yet. Okay. This is probably a good time for pixie spray, but that's all right. I've got some more over here, and we're going to just apply this. Look at how nicely that goes on. This is the gelatos. And I don't want it perfect again. So I'm not going to go all the way across, but look at that. Isn't that nice? That's with the gelatos. See? Thank you, Candace. You've given us another way to use these. I feel like it needs more blue. What can we do in blue? How about some embossing powder? I have this color here that looks really nice with Twilight. It's called Pearl Luster in Lapis. So there's a Pearl Luster collection, and this is the Lapis. Okay. So let's see. I feel like I want to use this just across the bottom. How wet is that? That's pretty wet. Let's dry this. This will only take a second to dry. Because it's copy paper. But if we don't dry it, then our embossing powder will stick to everything. Okay. I'll go with that. That's pretty good. We'll hit it with the powder bag just in case. And I'm trying not to touch her face too much because these pastel pencils will continue to blend until I spray them or seal them, which I'll do later. Okay, so I need my Versamark. That's right there. I'm going to zoom out a bit. Okay, there we go. That's better. And we'll just stamp this a couple of times across the bottom. And I don't really care if they overlap or hang off the edge. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to close this up. And I'm going to get my paper from before. And we'll throw some lapis on top. Do you not use the powder bag? Look at that. That's so cool already, right? I love that. Okay. Dumping this out so that I don't spill it everywhere. Because we know what kind of mess I can make. Heat gun. Turning the heat gun on again. And since this is on copy paper, the embossing powder will melt really fast. You want to make sure that you don't overdo it though, because then it'll soak right into the paper. There we go. Okay, perfect. So now I'll show you how pretty that is. See how it's shiny? It's got a pearl finish to it. That's the lapis. There's a garnet, there's an amethyst, there's carnelian. Oh, I missed some. Hold on. Okay. Okay, cool. So now, let's check her size. Let me score this other piece of cream cardstock that I cut from before. Put my lapis away. And then we'll see how big she is on the card base. And then we'll decide what we're going to do. Okay, my bone folder. That's not a bone folder. Okay, there we go. Perfect. All right, so she's kind of big. And we're going to wind up not having a big border again. And I'd really like to have a border. So I think I'm going to rip the top and rip this side. But I still want to maintain the white here. That's better. Okay, let's do a little bit on the side though. Okay, how's that? I think that's good. So now we can do something else with like a stencil and get the edges. So let's get, where's my hexagon? I know it's here, or it was here. Here it is. So this is perfect for these little guys. So I'm going to take that and we're going to take some chipped sapphire. So that's a nice deep color. And I'm going to just, let's go this way. There we go. And I don't mind that there's a big guy here, but I think that we'll probably just eliminate him anyway. And we don't have to do the whole thing. Maybe we don't want to do the whole thing. Maybe it's a little bit more interesting to not have the border go around the entire piece. See that? What do you think? I think that's cool. We'll add a little bit more, of course. Have you guys seen that new silicone? I think it's silicone. Maybe it's not. It could be plastic. The holder for your distress inks, so that, you know, when you're kind of trying to get your ink, the cube isn't going all over the place. Have you guys seen that? I just saw it the other day. I thought it was kind of interesting. Check that out. I love it. Love it. Okay. I want these guys on here. So we're going to put that there. I'm going to flip this around. That's good. I like to get the corners. Kind of brings your eye in. If you don't have anything in the corners, I feel like your eye can sometimes fall off the piece. So I often try to get my corners in. And then I leave space more in the center. I think we need a little bit over here, but just a touch. Oh, you lose the lids? Yeah, that happens to me too, especially when I'm doing something like this, where I'm kind of crafting messy so that I don't make anybody wait. All right, I think that's good. She's cool. And you know what I think? I think that we should not adhere her all the way down flat. I like the lift that she's got. So I think that maybe we'll just put some adhesive here, but not at the very edge, so that that curling kind of still happens. What do you guys think? I think that'll work nice. Okay, let's put this brush away. Get some of this here. What kind of glue do you guys use? I use a bunch of different kinds. My favorite is the Kokoyo Dot and Roller, but it is literally more than twice the price of what I paid last year because it comes from Japan. And to import it right now is very expensive. So I'm stuck using the ATG gun, which is fine, but sometimes it annoys me. The tape has been tearing lately and it's just inconsistent. Art glitter. I've heard good things about that stuff, but I also heard that it freezes if you're in a place that it gets cold. You don't have to worry about that because you're in a warm climate. I heard that the Barely Art stuff is good. I know that Amber has liked that one. See how I'm curling this up a little bit? I think that that adds to it. And if it tears a little, I'm okay with that too. I just think it makes it look more like an art piece. Ta-da! 2 cards done, guys. We did 2 cards in an hour and a half. I think that's pretty good. Granted, this background was done before, but that's why I like having, you know, a background session and just making a ton of them and then using them later because it makes it so much faster. Do we think that she needs a little bit more blue on this side? I don't know. Maybe a little bit. Thanks, Leah. Let's see. Where's that teal color? I think we're going to add just a little bit more. Yeah, that's better. And then just smooth it out. Oh, right, Cindy Ellen. Yeah, that makes sense. That's true. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I heard about the Barely Art. Actually, I think you're the one that told me. I think she's super cool. So how about this? What if next week we did like a background session? If we just made a ton of backgrounds. And then you guys can tell me if you want it to be like background with the gel press, or backgrounds with stencils, or backgrounds with distress oxides or inks. What do you guys think? Do you think that'll be fun? And then we can use those backgrounds another time. This way we can build our stash up, and you guys can craft along with me too. Annie says yes. Candace says yes. I think that's a good thing to do. That'll be fun, because sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, now I have free reign. I can teach whatever I want on a live, but then it's like, oh, there's so many things I can show you. So I think that that would be a lot of fun. This was a good way to start the day, but with, you know, these mixed media cards. Where's my other one? Here it is. I'm so into this. I love this combination of images. I think it's so cool. It's like giving me Moroccan vibes, like an outdoor market kind of thing, right? Amber also likes the Nuvo glue and scrapbook.com's glue pen. I have not used either of those. My go-to for little stuff has always been the On Point, and I love, love, love Zip Dry. Zip Dry is awesome, but the point is not as fine as the On Point glue. See how big it is? So for little tiny things, it can be a little tricky, but I do really love the On Point because stuff does not come off with that. But I don't use it for like gluing big pieces of paper on anything. I use it for little stuff. So yeah. Okay. Guys, this was so much fun, and I am so thankful that you hung out with me for an hour and a half on my birthday, because I was worried about being totally lonely today. It's like, oh man, it's my birthday and I can't do anything. But this was such a good way to spend my birthday. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. You have On Point, but you haven't tried it yet. Oh, okay. Beacon has a liquid spray glue at Dollar Tree. Oh, that's neat. Kim thinks the backgrounds idea is great. Excellent. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I am so grateful for you guys hanging out. You are here, Tara. I appreciate it. I love hanging out with you guys. You know that. So next week we'll do backgrounds. Same bat time, same bat channel. And then on Wednesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, I will be on the Sassy and Crafty page doing a really fun technique over there. And then Thursday is the release preview for Doodles Paper Playground Sparkle Blends. So you have 2 more opportunities this week to hang out with me if you are available and are interested. Super excited for both things. So yeah, I'll see you then. And then feel free to message me about any questions, anything that you may have missed. I'm so thankful for you guys hanging out. I love you all. I will talk to you soon. And it's going to be a great rest of my birthday. So thank you so much for starting it off right. Have a fantastic day, everybody. I will see you guys soon. Bye.